Evening and welcome to Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock. I am Susan Ortega.
And I'm Evan Baxter. And here's what's making news: a potential scandal. With the Buffalo PD today, when everyone at the news center was making the whole deal about it, no one knew what to do. So a news reporter tried to get into the... I seem to have something stuck.
Can we get him some water, please?
Looks like my new co-anchor may need a glass of water.
Here we go. Sorry about that. In other news, Prime Minister of Sweden visits Washington, and my tiny little nipples went to France.
What did he just say? Check the prompter.
Prompter's fine.
The prompter's fine, Evan. Just read the script.
The White House Reception Committee greeted the Prime Minister, and I do the cha-cha like a sissy girl. I like a do the cha-cha. I'm sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. In other news, my apologies.
Hello, welcome to Zbn. I'm Amber and that's Caleb. Some segments we'll go over today will be Epic Gamer segment, Top 10 Sports, and more coming to you. Now, let's get to the episode, starting with Doug and Drew on Julian.
Did you know that as of February 18th, 2020, over 2,800 people have been hospitalized because of lung injury? Vaping is the leading cause of lung injuries in the U.S.
Smoking and vaping also affects COVID-19. If you smoke or vape, COVID-19 is more likely to affect you than the average person. COVID-19 is a lung disease. People who smoke or vape are 2.4 times more likely to show severe symptoms.
The Juul was made to help adult smokers quit smoking. Ashley Gold, Chief Administrative Officer at Juul Labs, says it was absolutely not made to look like a USB port. It was absolutely not made to look discreet for kids to hide them in school. Gold says it was made to not look like cigarettes because when smokers stop, they don't want to be reminded of them.
High schools have come up with clever ways to stop teens from vaping. Vape detectors were installed in restrooms to prevent students from vaping during school. Posters and warning signs are also up around the school warning students the dangers of vaping.
We interviewed Vice Principal Mrs. Atkinson and the school's resource officer, Skeeter, asking some questions over the vaping policy. Okay, so what are the most common vape devices found at Rochester High School?
The ones we've been finding here is what they call the Mr. Fogg. It's the cylinder type. It's electronic. And the other is the Juul, the little, looks like something you plug into your laptop.
The
USB, and then it's refillable. So Mr. Fogg's, they're getting away from those because they're not refillable and they're one-hitters.
And how should a student respond if they witness another student vaping?
Well, we have email. You can send Mrs. Atkinson or Mr. Keeson or even your teacher or me an email that you've seen this happen, and if you have a name or something like that, it would be useful. We still have the 224 helpline that goes to the police department. You can call that line too and report. Those are just a couple different ways you can do it.
We're very good about making it so that people would never know that you're the one that told us.
And from what I understand, you guys have vape detectors in the bathrooms?
We do, yep. And they probably go off 2 or 3 times a week.
Yes, a week.
And not all of those are positives. Probably 1 a week is positive, I would say.
And what are the repercussions if you get caught vaping in school?
That's a Miss Atkinson question.
So, according to our handbook, the first offense would be a 3-day in-school suspension. And while you are in the in-school suspension room, you have to take a vape education course, which is an online course that teaches about the dangers of not only vaping, but lots of other drugs and bad habit forming things. You also receive a little bit of counseling while you're in ISA as well to talk about the dangers of it and the fact that it leads towards addiction. And if you're an athlete, the first offense, it's a 25% of your season. Second offense, it's 50% of your season, and then after that, you're not allowed to participate anymore.
And I know if you're in like sports, that's pretty important.
Yes, yeah, that's usually what is most upsetting to people.
Thank you, Mrs. Atkinson and Skeeter.
Now on to Caleb and Amber.
Thank you, Doug and Drew. Dueling is terrible. No one should try it or do it. Or you end up like this weird raisin lady from SpongeBob. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Now on to Brett with the Epic Gamer segment.
Hello and welcome to another Epic Gamer segment. Today we will be talking about the Minecraft Caves and Cliffs update that was recently announced at Minecraft Live, and the newest fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
First thing we will talk about is the Caves and Cliffs update. This announced update has made the internet happy as they've been waiting for a cave update for some time. What we'll be getting is some new mobs. The mobs are the Axolot, which will be found in the ocean, and the Glow Squid, which won the mob vote. Basically all they do is glow. Now that's epic!
The new hostile mob is the Warden, a mob that cannot find you with sight because it's blind, though it can find you with sound, so you must be quiet when you fight it. It also is very dangerous, being able to two-shot you with full netherite armor. So if you're going to attack it, you better be prepared, because if you're not, you're gonna die. There's also the Lush Caves, which are caves with plant life in them, the improved cave generation, and the addition of amethyst crystals and copper.
Now to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The 7th DLC fighter is Steve from Minecraft. He's pretty complicated, so I won't talk about him. But he's included in the Fighter Pass Volume 2 along with Midman for only $29.99. Or of course you can purchase the fighters individually for only $5.99 each.
Well, that's all for this Epic Gamer segment. Now on to Caleb and Amber with the overview.
Thank you, Brett. That was a pretty epic. Now let's stay safe and head on to today's segment on safe things.
Hello, and welcome to my quarantine Halloween party with just me, my cat, and some balloons. Let's do this. It's 2020, and that means there's a pandemic going on. And since people didn't wear their masks initially, you know what that means. You can't wear your funny Michael Scott mask that your mom bought you from Party City this year. So what can you do instead? Well, I've got just the thing for you. I've got some fun and safe things you can do this Halloween. The first fun thing that you can do this Halloween instead of going out is you can try joining a Zoom party with your friends. There are tons of fun things you can do. Come on, let's go ask my friends, see what they think. Yeah, just go on to number 2. As I've stated for probably about the 4th time now, it's 2020. And everyone below the age of 20 has a Minecraft account. Crack that baby open and join a server with your friends and see how it goes. I really don't know why I try, guys. Let's just go on to number 3. Yeah, let's do that. Number 3. Go around your house and try and find all the Halloween stuff you have and come up with a really cool costume. I'll get something now and show you guys. Number 4, try your hand at baking. You can go make some like cookies or brownies and then find either some black or orange frosting and put it on there. And then post to your Snapchat for 4 people to look at. This concludes our quarantine Halloween party ideas. Now, wearing a mask on Halloween is cool, but be sure to wear a mask out in public. Don't be inconsiderate. That's all. Goodbye.
Thank you, Dave. And stay safe, students. Now, here's some sporty news from Jaden.
Last week, our volleyball team won sectionals against Bremen, then went to regionals and beat North Judson with a 2-1 score. Then lost against Fairfield 1-2, sadly putting an end to their season. Great job, ladies. On to cross country.
Ladies cross country went to semi-state and sent Madeline Calloway to state. Congrats, Madeline. For our boys cross country team, Peyton Hyatt and Dylan Seidinger went to semi-state where they ended their season. Great season, boys and girls.
Moving on to winter sports. Basketball, swimming, bowling, wrestling will all be starting soon.
And today we will have an interview with Coach Guard about our upcoming wrestling season. Hi, I'm Jaden. I'm going to be interviewing Coach Guard, our HS wrestling coach. How do you think this season's going to look like?
You mean with COVID?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have to keep things very simple, and we're going to have to keep our any competitions that we have, we're going to have to keep small. Some of the bigger competitions in Indiana are already getting canceled for this year. So I really think more than likely if we're going to get a season in, we're going to have to keep our competitions smaller instead of having big, huge tournaments or going to big, huge tournaments. We're going to have to keep those smaller and maybe even do more dual meets. But I also think it'll be a very fluid situation and something that we're going to have to be willing to, what's the word I'm looking for? Be very flexible.
Do you think that we are going to have a good, confident season this year?
Well, I think if we can get our guys on the mat, we'll have a good season throughout this year. I don't know how confident I am that we're going to have a season. So I'm hoping if we can get on the mat and we can wrestle and we can get to competitions, with, obviously, and other schools can as well. I think for our program, we'll have a very good season. It's just a matter of if we can get on the mat.
Okay. And who are your captains going to be this year?
Our captains this year are going to be Noah Tomago, who is a senior, Wade Schaefer, who is a senior, and Grayson Gard, who's a sophomore, and Ethan Holloway, who's a sophomore.
Thank you, Coach Guard, for the interview.
Winter athletics will begin with girls basketball. Their first game will be this Saturday at 2 p.m. at home against Oak Hill. Good luck, ladies.
And that's it for sports. Now on to Caleb and Amber.
Thank you for sports, Jane.
Now let's get the countdown with Top 10 with Kate.
Hello, I am Kate, and welcome to Top 10 Halloween Edition. Recently, we have asked students what their favorite candies and Halloween movies are, and I will be going over the top 10. Starting off, we have top 10 candy. Number 10, Milky Way. Coming in number 9, candy corn. Number 8, Three Musketeers. Number 7, Snickers. Number 6, M&M's. Number 5, Sour Patch Kids. Number 4, my personal favorite, Hershey's. Number 3, only ahead by 1 vote, is Twix. Number 2, over 50% more votes than Twix, is Reese's. And number 1, miles ahead of the rest, the best Halloween candy, Kit Kats. And now for the Halloween movies. Coming in at number 10, Ghostbusters. Number 9, Nightmare on Elm Street. Number 8, Beetlejuice. Number 7, Friday the 13th. Number 6, The Conjuring. Number 5, Caroline. Number 4, Halloween. Number 3, It. Number 2, The Nightmare Before Christmas, only ahead by 1 vote. And number 1, the best Halloween movie, Hocus Pocus. Not Friday the 13th, not Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, not Child's Play or Chainsaw Massacre, which didn't even make it into the top 10. Hocus Pocus. That's all for this week on Top 10. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Kate, for the top 10. Last up today's episode, it could be spooky or scary.
This is Dara
And Stella.
here to talk about something serious that has been going on at the middle school for years now.
And that thing is former RMS student Charles Nile.
Most of you have probably heard about him and his story.
But if you haven't heard about him, you are lucky.
Charles, who was also known as Charlie, was the son of a former 6th grade English teacher at RMS.
October 30th, 1995, exactly 25 years ago, is the day everything changed for Charlie.
It was a normal day after school. Charlie and his friends were playing hide and seek when he mysteriously went missing.
It was never to be seen again.
His last known location was in the basement of the school.
Our head custodian at RMS can confirm what we think are sightings of him.
Here's a quick interview with him. Have you ever came encounter with Charles Nile?
Yes, I have. About every time I go down the basement.
Can you tell his presence is there, or what makes you think he's there?
There's just a funny feeling every time I go down there, like somebody's watching me.
Do you see anything?
No, I feel a cold breeze on my neck.
Oh, that's creepy. You heard it here, folks. After Mark told us this, we knew we had to investigate.
Here's some footage of the basement of RMS.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode, RHS, and have a great Halloween.